going on, crime fighters? And I apologize. I realized last time in that video that camera was mad close to my face. You can like see my nostrils and shit, like all up in here and stuff. But tonight I'm going to be bringing you the second review for the second episode of Netflix Daredevil. And you guessed it, this one was awesome as well. This one was even better than the first episode because it had so much in that last action fight scene. It was so ridiculous. But we'll get to that later. So, this episode centers around Daredevil, greatly injured from a night out fighting crime. So, word around town is around the Kingpin's era that a man with the black mask is going around shutting down his operations. The word is getting out that Daredevil is running around the city, beating the shit out of people, and the Kingpin doesn't like it. So, they set him up. They kidnap a little boy. Word gets around to Daredevil. When he goes to actually save him, it's an ambush. And this is where we meet Rosario Dawson's character, Claire, who was a nurse in New York. She finds him in a dumpster, beaten half to hell, and decides to take it upon herself to nurse him back to health. So, we get more along the way. This episode goes back and forth to cutting from flashback to the present. So during Daredevil's consciousness, when he goes in and out of it, we start exploring more into his back history as a child, and we actually see how and what happens to his father and the death of his father. Spoiler alert for those who don't know who Daredevil and his back history. It's similar to Batman's. So what happens is, sorry, there's a lady outside my door spitting all of her business on the phone, you know. But I digress. So yes, it picks up there, and as I stated in the last review, his father is basically tired of having his son kind of only knowing his father as a punching bag. I said before, he's tired of him failing, so he has an opportunity to fight this big boxing fight, but he has to throw the match. Of course, he refuses. He realizes this because he realizes, I'm tired of disappointing my son. So, he does the honorable thing, and of course, it ends in his demise. So, we learned, and I felt like that was a very touching way they approached it, and I've actually really felt for him, and you got to see as Daredevil as a kid is coming to terms, you know, with him being blind and learning how to adjust to it, and, you know, it was very intimate, and, you know, and it built the relationship and the bond between them as well. And once you actually learn and he actually loses his father, it was that much harder to kind of bear, in a sense, because they were just, that incident was a gift and a curse at the same time, but the gift was, it made them closer. And it was hard to see that kind of be ripped apart from him. So, going back to the present, Claire is helping Daredevil get nursed back to health as well, and of course, the Kingpins are out looking for them, so she has to help him not only lay low, but also make sure he survives throughout the night, but she also has to look out for her own skin. And this is kind of good because she eventually ends up seeing his face. So she knows her identity, she knows what's going on, she has a hidden motive as to why she's helping and the reason why she took him in. And it was very interesting to see when she actually explained it and broke it down. And there's a scene where they actually, I won't spoil it, where they actually get to work together in a sense, and she gives him some really good advice on how to get a certain bit of information from one of Kingpin's laggies. So that was a good development for her character, and to see, just in so short time, to see what Daredevil stood for, the reason why he did it, and she sees his corruption, she sees what's going on in the world, but she also is trying to interject a little something from him into his life because she doesn't truly believe his reasonings for being Daredevil. She doesn't believe he truly believes in them. So it's interesting to see that dynamic between the two, to kind of see the calmer and the more darker side, the logic between the rash. So it's a really good dynamic, and the episode plays in very deeply as in your inner self. in who you are as an individual and what motivates you in life and the things that we do and what we're motivated by, and as far as what we see as ideal for our actions. Is the motivation behind that truly appropriate? Is it bettering the cause, or is it just adding to it? So it's something that walks a very fine line, and is handled very well. So yeah, guys, go check it out. And when he fought, oh my God, that last scene, the fighting, oh my God. Charlie Cox, I don't know if that's you underneath that mask or a hell of a good fucking stunt double, but these action scenes are so well choreographed and so brutal. It was very reminiscent of Old Boy. For those of you who don't know or are familiar with the American remake, it's a Korean film. It's so badass, and it's particularly known for the hallway scene. This was very reminiscent of that, and I got that feel. It was dark and gritty, and it was very one-shot. Very, very one-shot Steadicam, and it was so amazing how they shot that. That alone sold me on the episode. Everything else was shit compared to that. But yeah, guys, check it out. It's awesome. Until the next review, subscribe. After this video, during this video, or before. You never know. Hashtag YouFilm. Get it going, guys. Like I said, hashtag, social media, links below, copy, share, everything. Let's get it. Live from the Batcave. It's the night. And I'll see y'all later.